Hello everyone, it's Professor Sadiq Noor, and today I am gonna demonstrate and show you in this video how to work with Unix file system. So let's start. So let's first understand what is Unix file system. So the agenda for this video is that you're gonna learn about the file types under Unix. You're gonna also learn about directories, using files and directory names, directory commands, and these are the commands that I will demonstrate to you about PWD, which is print working directory. MKDIR is to make a folder or directory. CD is to open a folder that you created. RMDR is to remove a directory. LS is to display the list of files and folder, and also I will show you the options that you can use with the ls. Cat command is to display the file contents on the screen, and then rm is to remove files. All right. So the first thing in Unix is that we have to understand what is the file organization, the disk organization. So Unix allow you to divide your hard disk into many unit called directories and subunit called subdirectories. Thereby nesting a directory within a directory is called subdirectories, right? Unix provide commands to create, organize, and keep track of the directories and the file on the disk. Now we have types of Unix files. So the file type under Unix operating system is as follows. We have regular files or ordinary file, directory files, and special file or executable file. So the regular file contains sequence of bytes that could be programming code, data, and text, and so on. They are what we call regular file or ordinary file. Directory file is a file that contains information like the file name about other files. It contains of several such records in a special format defined by the operating system. A special file or executable file, which is the special file is actually the device file, contains specific information corresponding to the peripheral devices. The preferred devices are those devices that you hook it from the outside to your computer, like the printer, disk, and so on. So in Linux and Unix file structure, you will have the root, and then you have regular or ordinary file, directory file, and the special executable file. So we will be working on the directory file. So then we have the root directory, home directory, and the working or your current active directory, right? So all about directories. Directories are essential feature of the Unix file system, right? So the directory system provides the structure for organizing the file on a disk. In Unix, the directory structure is organized in a level and is known as hierarchical structure. The highest level directory is called the root, and all other directories branches directly or indirectly from the root. So the highest level directory is called what? The root. And all other directories branches directly or indirectly from it. In this case, the root. Now from the root, you can create multiple folders or directories you can see. What are the advantages of using directories? One is grouping related files in one directory makes it easier to remember and access them. Displaying a shorter list of your files on the screen enables you to find the file more quickly. You can use identical file name for files that are stored in a different directories. Also, directory makes it feasible to share large capacity disk with other user with a well-defined space for the users. You can take advantage of Unix commands to manipulate directories, right? So the home directory. Now the system administrator creates all user accounts on the system and associate each user account with a particular directory. As I said, directory is folder. This directory is the home directory. The logon process places you into your home directory. So when you log into the system with your username, so that your username will be placed under the home directory. From your home directory, you can expand your directory structure according to your need. And then you can create more and more folders. You can add as many subdirectories as you like and dividing subdirectories into additional subdirectories, right? So let's understand the path and the path names. Every file has a path name, right? The path name locates the file in the file system. You determine the file's path name by tracing the path from the root directory to the file, going through all intermediate directories. Now, the / at the very beginning of a path name stands for the root directory. The other slashes serve to separate the names of the other directories and the files. So when you put the first slide, that represents the root. And then you can put the other directory, which I'm going to demonstrate to you. The files in your working directory are accessible quickly. To access the file in another directory, you need to specify the particular file by its path name. If your current directory is the root, then the path to a file will just say my file. Under the David folder is your home / your username, and then the file or the folder you want to go to, right? So the first / here represents the root, right? That's your working folder, your working directory, and then your username or the folder you want to go to, okay? And then within that folder, if you want to go to the file that you created inside the folder David, all right? Now, absolute path name. Absolute path name or the full path name traces the path from the root to the file. An absolute path name always begins with the name of the root directory /. For example, if your working directory is user, the absolute path of the file called my first under the directory David is, you see, you put the / user / David / my first. So the absolute path name specifies exactly where to find the file, thus it can be used to specify the file location in the working directory or any other directory, right? So the absolute path name always starts from the root directory and therefore has a / at the beginning of the file name. In contrast to the relative path name, the relative path name is a shorter form of the path name. It traces the path from the working directory to the file. Like the absolute path name, the relative path name can be described a path through many directories. For example, if your working directory is user, the relative path name to the file is called report. Then which is under the David directory. Then you're gonna just say that David is the folder, and then the file name is report. I want to get to. That's like the shortest version. There is no initial / for the relative path name. It always starts from the current directory. So using the file and directory names, every ordinary directory file has a name. So every file or directory has a name. Unix gives you much freedom in naming your files and directories. All Unix system allows a file to have a maximum between 14 to 255 character long. So the name can be 14 up to 255 character long. You name a file using combination of characters or numbers, but you have to avoid using the following character in file name. So this cannot be part of a file name. You have to choose character for file name from the following list, from uppercase, lowercase, numbers, underscore, or you can use a period or a dot. So the file extension helps to further categorize and describe the content of a file. So the file extension are part of the file name following a period, and in most cases are optional. So if you said first.c or you said first.cpp in the source directory, have a typical file extension .c and .cpp for the C and C++ programming languages respectively. So the following example shows some files with the extension, right? You can also say the name .04, which means that you made this folder or file April 10th, right? So you can put the dot in between the number. So the use of more than one period in a file extension is allowed in Unix. That's the good thing. So one of the first command is the pwd to print the working directory, right? So displaying a directory path name, the pwd command, which is the print working directory command, displays the absolute path name of your working, which is the current directory. So to do that, we have to log in to the system. So let me explore to you. So I have the buddy software. I open here for you, and I will increase the size of the text. All right. Then I saved my host or the IP address under Sadiq Unix. I will double click it to launch it. And then I will do again, change setting, appearance, change, make it boldface, and 28. All right. So the first command is pwd, right? So first we have to log in. And then I will clear my screen. So now I have my dollar prompt. So we want to check our current directory. So what you're gonna do, you will type, all the command has to be in lowercase, pwd. It says that I'm under the home, the root, then home. Within the home, I have my current folder is snur, right? So as you see here, I have given you an example. I log in with my name and then password. Then I said pwd, then it shows you pwd. It's just to show you actually in what is your current directory path. Okay. Now, cd command is to change the directory. So whenever you want to open a folder that you created, you have to use the cd command. And the cd command also is used to close the open folder. All right. So to do that, what I will do is I will I will show you first how to create a folder, and then I will show you how to open a folder, right? So to change your working directory to the source directory, use the following command sequence. So the PWD is going to show you actually where you are located currently, your current directory. And then you will type CD and the name of the folder you created. All right. And then you can say PWD to show you, to display your working directory, to show where you are right now. Right. So to do this, we will create a folder. So to create a folder, we have a command mkdir. So the mkdir, which is make directory, is a command creates a new subdirectory under your working directory or any other directory you specify as part of the command. So to create the directory called memos under the home directory, then obviously you will say mk memos or whatever the name of the folder you want to create, right? So let's create this folder here. So let's use the mkdir, and then I will show you how to open a folder with the CD. All right. So to create, so first I will clean up my screen, clear, mkdir, and then I will call it Sadiq. Press the enter key. Now let's do ls. ls to show you the list of files and folder or directories in the current working folder. So click on enter. Now, as you see, the folder will always be represented in a purple color. The white are the files. Files is something that has instruction in it, right? So this is your folder, the purple one. And you see Sadiq is being created. So let's create another folder just to practice. mkdir space CIS 105. Press the enter key. Now, let's do ls to show us the list of files. As you see, Nur, CIS here, and then Sadiq. These are the two folders I created now, right? So what if you want to open the folder Sadiq? We're going to use CD Sadiq. As you see now, I'm inside the folder Sadiq, right? Now, you want to know actually currently where, in what folder you are in. So you're going to type pwd, print the working directory. As you see here, it shows us that inside snode, there's a folder named Sadiq, right? If you want to create a folder within Sadiq, like a subfolder, a subdirectory, you're going to do mkdir space homework, right? Now, if you want to open the homework within Sadiq, you will say cd space homework, right? Now, you want to see actually where I'm located right now. What's my active directory? pwd. And it shows you that currently I'm under the home, as you see. And then from here, you can create a file, you can create another folder. Now, to close this folder, you will do cd and then press the enter key. Now I will clean the screen. Now, if you do ls, I don't see the list of the file that I created, right? So I don't see the homework. So what you're gonna do, if you wanna know what's inside the folder, instead of doing like this, like cd, Sadiq, and then ls, it says homework is there. And then if you do cd, homework, and then ls to show the list of files and folder in the current folder. I don't have anything in it, right? So I have an easy way to do this. I will close the folder I'm in. I'm back to my prompt, clear ls. So what I will do, I will say list the files and folder within Sadiq. Now, instead of getting inside Sadiq, then ls, you just say ls Sadiq. It show me within Sadiq I have a homework folder. You see that? If I had a file, it's also gonna show me the list of files, but I have only one folder, right? So if I say ls Sadiq slash homework, I want to see if I have anything inside the folder homework. I don't have anything, it's just blank folder. All right. Now to close, which you already in the prompt, you see the dollar amount without having any folder name. So if you want to open CIS 105 CD space CIS 105, all right? And then if you want to close it, CD clear, all right? Now, to open the folder homework within Sadiq with the shortcut, you're gonna say CD Sadiq slash homework. You see? Or you can say CD Sadiq first, then CD homework. Both ways are right. See? Either you want to go first to open the parent, then the child, or you can just straight, you can say, but you need to know the homework is under what folder, which I know that was under Sadiq. So that's why I said CD. Sadiq is the parent of this child homework. All right. If you want to close it, CD. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So I show you how the mk command works. Now we have mkdir with an option -p. P is for parents. So the -p option create a level of directories under your current directory. Create a directory structure 3 level deep, starting in the home directory, right? So if I want to create 3 folder like X, X, Y, Y, and Z. So within the XX will be Y, Y, and then Z, Z, right? So I will use then -p to create those. So first it's going to create the XS, within the XS is going to create the folder name YY, and then within YY is going to create ZZ, right? So let's do that with the mkdir -p. Clear? You will say mkdir -p parents, and then you said xx/yy/zz. It created it. Now let's do ls. See, the xs is created here. Now, if you want to see what's in under xx folder, then you will say ls xs. It has y, yy. So I want to see what's inside the yy. So ls xx/yy. It has the z. You see, simultaneously you created 3 files, 3 levels, right? To close, and if you want to open it, you will say cd xx/yy/zz. It takes me straight to the last folder, which is the child of yy. Yy is the child of xx, and x is being created in my current working directory, the snor. All right. Now, if you want to check where I'm located right now, pwd. See, I'm under the Z. All right. CD to close all the folder. We'll close ZZ, YY, and XX. I'm back to my prompt. All right. So clear. And then we have to do clear and then ls. So the purple one are the folders, are the directories, and the white one is your files, right? So here I show you. Now, negative parent option, the P, is the alternative option in Linux. So if in Linux, if you are in Linux, you're gonna say mkdir minus minus parents instead of P. The negative P is for Unix, all right? And then it's gonna do the same thing I show you. We created these folders simultaneously, these three folders simultaneously. You see, in my Nuur, I created these three folders with the help of mkdir minus, right? So you said mkdir minus p, and then you said xx, yy, and then zz. And that's what is being created. All right. Next is to remove a directory, a folder. The rm directory is used, the rmdir is to remove directory command, which deletes the specific directory. However, it removes only empty directories that contain no subdirectories. So if you have an empty folder without having anything inside a folder, then you can just use the rmdir. But if the folder has something in it, then you have to go individually to each folder and the subfolder, delete them individually, then you can delete the main one, right? So in this case, like you can do cd memos, that you went to memos, then you have to delete the important folder, then you can delete the memo, right? So let me show you. Now here is very important to notice. You were able to remove the important subnet because it was an empty directory, right? You must be in a parent directory to remove a subdirectory. That's very important, right? So let's do it here. So I want to get rid of CIS 105, right? So I will do rm dir remove directory. Which one? CIS 105. It took it because the CIS 105 was empty. Now let's do ls. Now the CIS one is gone. CIS 105 is gone, right? So what if you want to get rid of X? So I will say rmdir xx. It said the folder is not empty, right? So we're gonna do cd xx slash yy. Now ls, I have z inside the yy, right? So first we have to remove the zz. So rm dir zz. So it says it's not empty. So let's see what's inside the. So we're gonna do ls zz. It has file one in it. You see that? That's why you cannot delete that. So what we can do, we will go to Sadiq to make it life easier. So I will say rmdir Sadiq. I cannot do it. So let's see what's inside Sadiq. ls Sadiq. It says homework. So let's see what's under homework. So ls Sadiq slash homework. is just what subfolder I have within Sadiq. So I have only subdirectory inside Sadiq. Sadiq has only one child homework. So first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna open the folder Sadiq first, like this. Now from here, I will remove the homework. So I will say rm remove dir directory. Which one? Homework is gone. Now if I do ls, I don't have anything inside Sadiq. Now I will close it. Now I will say rm dir Sadiq. Now let's do ls to see what we have in our current home directory. Sadiq is gone. All right, clear. Now the ls, the listing command is used to display the content of a specified directory. It lists the information in alphabetical order by file name. It also lists include both file names and directory names. Also, when no directory is specified, the current directory is listed. If the file name is specified, ls shows the file name with any other information requested, right? So also in the list that I have 512, it's used in the example and the command sequence as the directory structure, and subsequent figure shows the effect of the example command on the file and directory. So remember, a directory listing contains only the names of the file and subdirectories. If no directory name is specified, the default is your current directory. A file name does not indicate whether it is referred to a file or a directory. By default, the output is sorted alphabetically. So these are all the options goes with the ls. So we will practice one after the other. So ls space -a means list all the file including hidden files. So let's do that. ls, when you do ls, simply you don't see the hidden file. Now you want to display all the list of files and folder and all the hidden files. So you will say ls -a. You can also say ls -all. That's for Linux. It's going to show you the same thing. All right. As you see, the cache, local, so NUGB, these are all hidden files. Swap files are all, these are hidden files. They are hidden from us. But we pull up with ls -a, the option A. Then the next one I have is capital C, -C, capital C. To list files in a multi-column format, entries are sorted down the column. So ls capital C. That's what you have seen. Now, to classify, to place the // after each file name if that file is a directory. So you will see the slash will be added at the end of each directory. So you're going to say ls -f. As you see, the slash has been added after the folder name. All right. Then we're going to say ls -l is going to list is the list file in a long format showing the detailed information about the file. These are what you can do, like you can read all the information in detail. So ls -l is to show you the file in a detail. Then we have ls -m. M is to indicate a comma, to list the file across the page separated by commas. You see the commas, right? Then we have ls -p. to place the / after each file name if that is a directory. So this one is similar to, look, if you do ls -f, you get the same thing. You get the / at the end of the folders. So either you can use -f or -p is the same. Let me clean the screen. Then if you want the list file in reverse alphabetical order, ls -r. All right. And then -R is for recursively list the content of the directory. ls -R. It's going to give you all the detail under what is what, right? Clear. Then if you want to get the list of file size-wise, ls -s. So the S is to show the size of each file in a block. And then ls -x to list the file in multi-column format. Entries are sorted across the line, right? And then if you want to get help regarding the command ls help, all right, you're going to get all the help. Clear. So here I show you all this. You can also use multi options. You can use, right? You can mix it. You can say ls -8 all, show me all, and then the L, all the list, and then R in a reverse order. Okay. See, or you can do like this. You can say ls -a -l -r. All right, you can mix those options. So you can use more than one option in a single command line for the to list all the file, including invisible -a option file in a long format, and then -L option, and with all the file in reverse alphabetical order. So you can either use ls1 negative and ALR, or you can just put -A space -L space -R and then press the enter key. You can use one hyphen to start the option, but there should be no space between the option letters. The sequence of the option letter in the command line is not important. You can reverse it the order you want. You can use one hyphen for each option, but there must be a space between each option letter, like this one here, right? If you want to combine it, then you have to use negative, and then you have to put the command. Now displaying the content of the file, guys. I want to see what I typed inside the file. So for now, let's create a file quickly. vi test, then press I, and then type this is my testing file to show you how to display the content of the file. Once you're done, press the escape key to get out of the insert mode. We are in the command mode now. So shift colon W to write, Q to quit. So the file is created. Now let's check it. ls. You should see the test file here. Now we want to display what's inside the file test. Cat test. That's what you typed. The other way, you can use vi test, right? You can read the file from here too. But the most easiest is the cat command. So cat displays the content of the file. All right. You can always print a file to obtain a hard copy of its content, or use the VI editor to open the file, which I show you, and look at it on the screen. You can also use the cat command for this purpose. Displaying the file, the cat command, you have to use the cat command. You can use the cat or concatenate command to display the file or files, to create files and to join the file. For example, you can say cat and the name of the file and then press the enter key to display the file. You can also say cat multiple file and then you can press the enter key, right? So file names on the command line are separated by at least one space. The cat command is usually used to display a small one screen file. You can stop the file. If you have a big file, then to stop it, you have to press the Control and S. To continue scrolling, press Control Q, right? Now every Control S must be canceled by Control Q. All right. Now you will say, let's create another file quickly. Test1. This is my second file I have created in Unix. Now to get out of the VI escape key, Shift and the colon WQ, right? Now we're gonna say cat, let me clean the screen. Cat test space S1. You see, both files are displayed on the screen. Both the content of the file test and test1 is being displayed on the screen. Now, how to delete the file test and test1? So you're gonna type the command rm remove test is gone. Now ls, I have test1, so I will do rm test1. ls is gone. All right. So deleting a file, you have to use rm file command to delete file that you do not want to keep anymore. You specify the file name to delete the file from your working directory, or specify the path name to the file you intend to delete if it is in another directory. The following command sequence shows how to use the rm. So that's what I show you. Rm, then the name of the file. If you want to delete multiple files simultaneously, you will type rm test and then space test1. That will delete two files, report and fonts. If you want to delete the file xyz, then if the file does not exist, the system complains by showing an error message. It's going to say the file do not found. For example, if I say rm test, I don't have any test. See? So with that, I hope that you have learned the command about Unix file system. So be sure that you subscribe to the channel, and also be sure that you share the video with your friends, and also be sure to support my videos so I can create more productive videos for you. So before that, you have to type exit to exit, right? Thank you so much, and have a nice day and practice so that you can comprehend these commands in Unix. Thank you. Have a nice and blessed day. Bye.